Hi, everyone. It's Don, and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Well, somebody was injured in February on the Mariner of the Seas. And wait till you hear what he hurt. Yeah. Ugh. So, a gentleman was on vacation on the Mariner of the Seas, and he's a bit of an adrenaline junkie. You name an adventure, he's done it. He's done the snowboarding and skateboarding, and he loves the surfing thing. He's an active guy. He loves doing these kind of things. And so, when he was on the Mariner of the Seas, he saw the sky pad. Now, if you're not familiar with the sky pad, that's kind of like that big orange globe thing that's on the back of these style of ships. It's one of the newest attractions that they put. It's almost like a 3D on some of them where you put the glasses on, and it's a trampoline where you're hooked up to the harness and you can jump up and you can spin around, and basically it's supposed to be a safer area way to be like on a trampoline on a cruise ship. And some of them even have 3D glass adventure kind of thing that they're going on. Now, it's a very popular thing. It's going to be on the Spectrum of the Seas, and I was looking forward to trying this as well. And then I saw some of these videos that came out. Now, because of copyright constrictions, I can't show you the video, but you can see just on some of these pictures how high you can get in those jumping, on the trampoline. And underneath it, they have a trampoline pad that, if you were to fall, you would think to yourself, I'm going to fall on the trampoline and just going to bounce and everything. Except when you're doing spins and you're jumping like this, you're kind of going not just up and down straight, especially if you're not an experienced trampoline artist, you're kind of spinning and going all over the place. Well, this gentleman, the harness broke and down he came. And unfortunately, he didn't land directly on the trampoline underneath him. He landed kind of half and half and onto the floor of the sky pad. Seriously injured. One of the controversies out there is he says that Royal Caribbean staff seemed more intent on blocking people from filming what was happening him on the ground in pain than helping him on the ground in pain. And I know that might be just part of because he's suing them obviously over this. But I just wanted to cover that one off right away because there's two ways to look at it. And one way looks better than the other. So one way is they're trying to stop you from filming so there's no evidence of somebody being hurt. Well, obviously somebody's fallen from the sky pad. The sky pad has broken. That's pretty much all the evidence you need. You don't need film footage evidence and the doctor's reports. That's pretty much all you need to state your case. One of the reasons cruise ship people around who aren't the medical staff to help somebody who's injured is they will try and keep people back, as well as they don't want people filming somebody's personal space. If you didn't want to be filmed and you have four people around you with their cell phones filming you injured, writhing on the ground in pain, if you're somebody who was in a bikini and you slipped down the stairs and you fell and your bikini top came off, do you want people filming you and then having that put up on YouTube? No, I would suspect not. So that's one of the reasons also they try and block people from filming you, is for your own privacy. And that goes for all cruise lines, and that pretty much goes for all entertainment complexes, if you will. Anything that could be somebody in a compromising position that may not want to be filmed, they will try their best not to allow you to be filmed. So that's one way to look at it also that doesn't quite shine as bad a light on the cruise staff. So I always like to err on the caution of of a regular person working. I'm a regular person working on a fun amusement ride and somebody hurts themselves. I'm not going to run up and start blocking a camera. That's not, maybe a security guard might do that, but I don't think just somebody working around the area is going to have that in their mind. So we covered that off. I don't think that's exactly what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to help keep the privacy of the person. So the gentleman hurt himself, and he actually, the way he fell, ended up breaking his pelvis. I cringe just thinking of that myself. Yeah, I'm a guy. It just gets to me. But he ended up being in the hospital for 10 days. He doesn't look, he has to go through months and months of rehabilitation. He may never be able to do the adventure stuff that he used to be able to do. And he's quite concerned that his whole life has changed dramatically on a fun event in the middle of the ocean on a ride. And it's called into question some of the security and safety of the things that they're adding onto cruise ships. So, for instance, Carnival is bringing out a roller coaster at sea. Well, we know roller coasters in the theme parks like Disney are inspected on a regular basis by engineers, and basically it's checked all the time. There's regulations. What are the regulations for a Bahama-based cruise ship roller coaster maintenance schedule? We all know the people who run it are just hotel staff, just people who are hired, and you may have qualified technicians who are supervising it and things like that, but is there an engineer or a stress test that they do? Because on a moving ship with the wind and the structure of the roller coaster, there's going to be a whole lot of questions come into play, and I don't know if the cruise lines have that covered personally. It's one thing to have a stationary object like an iPad, or for skydiving, or the Flow Rider for surf simulations. Those aren't going to throw people all over the place. But a roller coaster running around, if for God forbid one of those things ever came down, you're on the decks of people besides that, not just the people above. So it kind of brings into question who's doing the safety inspections of these kind of things on cruise ships, as we get more and more and more innovative to bring in the tourist dollar. So this gentleman is suing, saying that they failed to maintain the structure properly, the ropes and safety. And right away, the first things people say is, yeah, well, if you go on there, you sign a waiver. Yes, but a waiver does not stop liability. A waiver is for normal nicks and cuts and bruises. If you twist your shoulder on a ride, well, you like this because you spun incorrectly, one thing, or you land and you sprain your foot, that's completely different than the actual device that they're using fails and breaks. That completely negates the waiver that they use. So otherwise, everything in the world would just have a waiver on it because you'd never be able to sue. But something breaking and causing you injury, doesn't matter if you signed a waiver or not, you're still entitled to compensation. And it kind of looks like there's nothing they can do. Royal Caribbean, of course, won't comment on anything that's in litigation, and it's just the beginning of this. I suspect they'll probably try and settle out of court because something failing, causing injury with medical records and video evidence, and the device itself is broke, it's kind of hard to defend that. So this is just a warning out there. It does draw into a lot of questions like future things that they're bringing out. Who the engineer is inspecting these things. How often are they inspected? And quite frankly, we don't really have an answer, and try and get that. It's nearly impossible. They'll say their safety is the utmost importance. Of course, everyone's going to say that. But things like this happen. And when it happens, new procedures come into place and new things happen and it makes it safer in the future, but I don't want to be that test subject like this gentleman seems to have been, because this device has only been in service for just under a year, around a year, year and a half. And it's only coming on to and now we have an accident within that time frame, and a very serious one. So I'm going to be following this court case really closely, especially since I'm on the Spectrum of the Seas and they have one, and I know I was going to try it. I want to, I'm bringing my friend Tony from La Lita Loca. If you don't know them, you got to check them out, La Lita Loca channel. But he's going to be able to help me film, so I can, instead of trying to set up a camera and leave it while I'm doing things, I actually have somebody there that can film me doing things and showing you how the surf simulator is and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And hopefully the next news story I do from the Spectrum of the Seas isn't me getting hurt on one of these rides. Well, I hope you liked this news update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.